What's up, guys? Long time no talk. Been a few days since we uploaded a video. One of the reasons being is because we've been kind of in the middle of a transition. You guys on YouTube don't know, but we bought an excavator. We actually went out and bought an excavator. And we couldn't have done it without New Tech and their help in the matter. So I had somebody reach out and ask how Cat screwed us. We found a really nice 315, an older 315. It was actually on the coast, which would have worked out great because we got some things in the works to expand our business and our service area. And so we were really kind of gung-ho and moving forward with buying it. We talked to a salesman. He shipped us all the paperwork for financing. We got financing from Cat Financial to be able to pick the machine up. I mean, it was a sweet deal. I was on my way home from bidding some work. Told them I'd be home in 15 minutes, signed the final documentation. I was waiting for them to answer some questions, which he just couldn't seem to answer. Said, screw it. We'll make sure that everything's a go, and then if they say, yep, let's do it, then we'll go over, look at the machine, make sure it's what we want, and go from there. Well, what happened was a different salesman in that 15 minutes sold it to a guy. And it went bye-bye. Which put us into a tailspin because we were so sure that we were getting it, we didn't reach out to New Tech to reserve the 130 or the bigger excavator, the 210. So we were a company without a machine to be able to do work. We have work that's, coming down the pike to do. And so I talked to the general manager at New Tech, Jason, and he said, we need to talk. So I went up there the next day, and within 15-20 minutes talking with them, they found us this machine. I'll show it to you guys. It's the same year, 2005 John Deere 160 LC, and perfect size machine for us and what we're going to be doing. And within 15 minutes they found it, went and looked at it, was like, it needs some work, but the bones of the machine are real good. I think let's go for it. Went in, applied for the financing. By the end of the week, we had approval on the financing. We were able to work out a deal, and as of yesterday, we're no longer renting from a dealership. We're renting from the bank. Like how everybody always says you own it when you go and buy it and you're financing it. You don't own it, bud. You're just renting it from the bank for a lot less than what it would cost to rent it from a dealer per month. Anyway, so I gotta run over here to Fruitland real quick and throw some ice in the cooler. And then, who the hell that was? I gotta run over here to Fruitland real quick, throw some ice in the cooler, and then I gotta run up to New Tech. I'll give you guys a quick little glance over of the machine, and then I'm gonna empty out the fuel tank that's in the back of the truck into it, because I think I only got like 20 or 30 gallons of fuel left in the back of the truck. Anybody that's ran older iron knows you need to have your tools with you on the truck just in case. So the fuel tank that's in the back right now was bought for the F350 flatbed, and it's just not going to work out in the back of this truck. One of the reasons being is because it doesn't have baffles in it. So when it's half full, it's a perfect combination of a bunch of crap. When it's half full, the sloshing of it back and forth, combined with I'm driving a second-gen Dodge that has sloppy front steering, makes me look like I'm driving down the road drunker than crap. And not to mention, it eats up a lot of bed space. So we're gonna go empty that out into the 160 find out where we stand on it, and then from there we're gonna run down to the dreaded North 40 and see if we can't pick up another tank, the L-shaped style. That way I can put my toolbox back there and not have, have more than half my bed ate up. And then probably come home and put that in, and to make a decent video I might sit down and kind of go over what our expansion plans are. Anyway, I run up here, throw some ice in the ice chest, and head on down the road to New Tech. Okay, we got ice. Important to keep the mountains blue. Alrighty, yeah, head on out. Head on out and head on up the road and go see the new excavator. Shut off. Of course, I picked the hottest freaking day to do this, but I have in my possession that box. Box looks like it's been here for quite a while. Anyway, there's an alternator in there for the 160, and it's sitting right back there. I'll drive back there and check it out, and then we'll debate whether or not I put the alternator on, or we have the boys here at New Tech put the alternator on. It is hotter than hell out here today, ladies and gentlemen. Picked the hottest day of the week to do this. Anyway, there she is. 2005 John Deere 160 LC. All guarded up and everything, but I think I'm gonna get rid of all that. It's a long ways down there at the bottom. Okay, try this again. I don't understand. GoPro makes great freaking cameras, but I don't understand for an action camera why they made a camera that cannot handle being outside in over 90-degree temperature. It's hot out there right now. But anyway, that right there is it. 2005 John Deere 160. I gotta take all the guarding and stuff off of it. It's got guarding here on the back that I'm gonna take off. I'm probably gonna leave the guarding around the cab for right now. But for the most part, this back here this panel guard. I gotta take that off. I gotta take the one off on the other side because it makes the engine run too hot. It covers up all the ventilation. So, yes sir. To see if the camera can handle being out there for a couple minutes so I can show it to you guys a little bit better. I think it's the sun beating down on it that makes it the worst, but you see, it's probably a good idea that it did have the guarding on it, but we're not going to be logging with it. We're just going to be doing land clearing and that kind of thing. So that's it. We got our very own 35,000 pound excavator now. It needs a little work, but the bones of the machine are good, and that's the important part as far as I'm concerned. It'll serve us real good for quite some time, I think. It's only got 8,500 hours on it, so it's a 2005. So I ran a bigger John Deere of the same year that had 15,000 hours on it, and it ran real good. It needs line board pins and bushings out here on the thumb, the bucket, the coupler, all that. That all needs to be repinned and bushed. And line board, it's got some dirt perfect sloppy bucket stuff going on, and the whole dang thing's gonna need line board and pinned and bush at some point in time, but it'll get us a couple of years before we really have to do that. Like I said, I'm gonna take these doors off and leave the guarding on the back for right now, but at some point in time I'm gonna take that all off, leave the catwalks. Got rock guards on it, which that's real nice. So need to tighten up the tracks on it. And here, probably in the next year or two, it's probably gonna need a undercarriage. But I bought it used. I knew what I was buying. The price was right. I couldn't say no. We're at a position where we need to have our own machine and get away from renting. And like I said, the cat fell through. Jason and the New Tech team jumped into gear and found us this within 20 minutes. And I'm not gonna say no to it. It'll be a dang good machine for us. I know lots of guys that have these older John Deeres. I actually wanted to get a John Deere 120. So this is the 160 of the same vintage that I wanted to get, so not that far off. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go get some lunch, and then I gotta run by the bank. And after I'm all said and done with that, I'll see if I can't track down Spencer and see if they want to try and get that alternator changed today or tomorrow. The battery light's on. We're pretty sure it's the alternator, and being as this looks like this is the last one in the western United States that'll fit this machine, I bought it just in case. Anyway, talk to you guys here in a few minutes.